Hi, I'm Alice Hansen. My firm is Intrepid Arc, and I architect revenue growth from plateau to performance for B2B enterprise SaaS companies. I partner with my clients to catalyze momentum by aligning brand, demand, and data-led execution. We cut through noise, we enable buyers and sellers, and we really scale efficiency. So whether that work is optimizing positioning or Gen AI influence, or accelerating pipeline through account-based engagement, or even leveraging intent signals to orchestrate decision engines, I drive the clarity, cohesion, and relevance required to meet buying groups where they are to grow acquisition, retention, and expansion revenue. So when I first started working with Sue, I was very early on. So for background, I'm a chief marketing officer. I've been a chief investor relations and communications officer for public and private companies. I know marketing. I know positioning. I know demand generation. What I have never done are those things for myself. And so what attracted me to Sue was that she had a methodology and a process that I could deploy for myself, which is very different than what I do for clients, but doing it for myself in order to build a foundation that is going to bring the kind of scale to my consulting practice that I need. One win that honestly is just huge for me in working with Sue is the clarity and the rigor of process. That doesn't sound very exciting, but I will tell you, when I have done consulting work for myself before, I relied entirely on word of mouth. I have a great professional network, but at the end of the day, if I want to scale an ongoing practice as a consultant or fractional executive, I got to get beyond my own network. And what Sue brought is a methodology and an operational rigor for me to achieve that. It was a huge aha. And again, I've done this for enterprise level clients with 20-person buying groups. I have not done this for myself. It is very different. And so that hugely valuable big aha in the clarity and rigor of business development process. What I love about Sue's coaching approach is her empathy and her really, really astute way of meeting us as kind of her clients where we are. And I was in a cohort with 8 other people, and we were all had very diverse areas of domain expertise, and we're at different points in the life cycle of building our fractional or consulting practices. And on the fly, Sue was able in our weekly cohort calls to calibrate and adjust her recommendations and her coaching to where we were as individuals while simultaneously providing a North Star for us as a group. She was really, really good at that. I never felt anything that she was doing was rote or off the shelf, but very bespoke to us and where we were. I would totally recommend Sue's program because, again, I think whether you are a marketer like me, or you're coming from finance or HR or engineering, what, again, she does incredibly well is document and share and teach a degree of operational rigor and discipline that's going to help people frame and position and market themselves to very specific buyers. She's so nailed the equation around what it takes to identify a buyer and articulate relevance and create resonant programs and offers for those buyers. And I think that really, really is hard to do. Everybody who wants to be a consultant needs to do it, and she's got a terrific methodology to get you there quickly. Here's what I would say to somebody who's on the fence about joining Sue. And that is really do some deep introspective thought about whether you've got the proven methodology, again, around creating product market fit and a business development engine that you're going to need in order to have the pipeline required to drive a going concern, if you will, a consulting practice that's going to bring you revenue, predictable revenue quarter over quarter. And if you don't have that methodology and that operational approach nailed, then you need Sue.